High above Germany's Rhine River, there's a castle that honestly shouldn't even exist. It's called Marksburg, and it holds a secret that dozens of its neighbors, now just piles of rubble, never figured out. So let's dive in and explore this amazing survivor.
Okay, so you know the Rhine River Valley, right? It's famous for its castles. But here's the thing. Most of them are, well, beautiful ruins. Marksburg, totally different story. It is the only hilltop castle on the entire Middle Rhine that has never, ever been destroyed. We're not talking about some modern reconstruction here. This is the real deal, a true survivor from another time.
And that brings us to the big question, doesn't it? What made this one castle so special? How in the world did it survive centuries of warfare? I mean, even the Napoleonic Wars that completely flattened so many other fortresses nearby. Well, the answer is this really cool mix of genius design, a one-of-a-kind history, and yeah, probably a little bit of good luck too. All right, first things first. To really get why it survived, you have to wrap your head around the timescale we're dealing with. This isn't just some old fortress from a few hundred years ago. Its story goes back almost 1,000 years. So, the first time we even see it in writing is way back around 1155. But the castle didn't just sit there. It was constantly evolving. In the 17th century, it got these major Renaissance upgrades that made it even tougher. And then came the ultimate test, the Napoleonic Wars. You've got other castles falling left and right to the French, but Marksburg, it held on. It was never conquered. Fast forward to the 1980s, and the mission changed from defense to preservation. A huge project kicked off to make sure this incredible, authentic piece of history is still around for all of us to see.
So, what was the secret sauce? Well, a huge part of it wasn't just luck. It's literally built into the castle's DNA. Let's take a look at the incredible architecture that basically made this place a medieval tank. What's really cool is that the castle is this mashup of different architectural styles. The base, the foundation, is Romanesque, with those classic thick rounded arches, super sturdy. But then, over time, they added these more elegant pointed Gothic arches. And this combo wasn't just about making it look pretty. Each new style was like a software update, a strategic upgrade, adding another layer of strength.
And if you want proof of how serious they were about defense, look no further than this. The walls are, in some places, an unbelievable 10 meters thick. 10 meters. Just try to picture that. That is a massive wall of solid rock, designed to stop pretty much anything they could throw at it back in the day. This place wasn't just a fancy home for nobles. It was built to last, period.
Okay, so we've talked about the outside, these massive, unbeatable walls. But what were they protecting? Let's go inside and check out the treasures they've been guarding for hundreds and hundreds of years. First up, the Great Hall. This place is just awesome. You can almost hear the clanking of armor and the sounds of medieval feasts under these massive ceilings. But get this room wasn't just for throwing big parties. It was also a cleverly designed defensive machine. I mean, check this out. This whole system of pulleys and counterweights you see, that's not just for show. It's a straight-up masterpiece of medieval engineering. If the castle was under attack, they could use this system to quickly seal off the hall, turning this beautiful room into a last-stand fortress. It's that perfect mix of beauty and brute strength.
And then, tucked away inside all that stone and fortification, you find this, a breathtakingly beautiful chapel. It's pure Gothic architecture, filled with these detailed carvings and frescoes that have somehow survived all this time. It even has this amazing organ that dates all the way back to the 17th century. It's just this little pocket of peace and beauty right in the heart of what was, essentially, a war machine. And of course, that kind of authentic medieval vibe doesn't go unnoticed. The fact that it's so perfectly preserved has made it a go-to spot for filming. Yeah, you've probably seen it in shows like Game of Thrones. I mean, it makes sense, right? When you need a castle that looks like the real deal, you go to the one that is the real deal. Now, this is a direct result of the castle surviving all those years. Because it was never conquered and looted, Marksburg basically became a vault for history. It's packed with collections of rare books, priceless art, and artifacts that would have been destroyed anywhere else. We're even talking about relics from the Roman Empire. This place isn't just a historic building, it's a literal time capsule. So we've talked about the stones and the architecture, but who actually lived here? Who called this amazing fortress home? The human story is just as fascinating as the building itself.
Well, for centuries, it was passed between some really powerful noble families. It all started with the Counts of Palatine. They were the ones who originally built it. Then it was passed to the electors of Mainz. But today, the story has kind of come full circle. It's now owned by the German government, which means it's preserved for all of us to enjoy.
And people absolutely come to see it. It's one of Germany's biggest tourist hotspots. We're talking more than 100,000 people every single year, all wanting to get that feeling of stepping back into the past.
And that's the key thing to remember. It's not some dusty old relic behind glass. Marksburg is a living, breathing museum. It's a major cultural hub. They even host a huge festival every year with music, art, and culture, making sure those ancient halls are still filled with life, just like they were all those centuries ago.
So let's bring it all home. After everything we've looked at, why does this one single castle, this survivor on the Rhine, really matter so much today?
It's really easy to just look at it and see a fortress, right? A military machine. But it was so much more than that. For centuries, this was the beating heart of the entire region. It was a place for the community to gather, a place for worship. And because the castle itself survived, the story of the everyday people who lived around it survived too.
And that, right there, is the main thing to take away from all this. Marksburg Castle is a direct, unbroken link to the medieval world. When you walk through its gates, you're not just imagining what a castle might have been like. You are seeing, with your own eyes, what a castle was. It's a completely genuine window into the past, the kind of thing you just can't find anywhere else. So yeah, the story of Marksburg is pretty amazing. It's a miracle of both engineering and just sheer historical luck. But it also leaves you with this kind of a haunting thought. If this is the incredible story of the one castle that survived, what about all the others? What amazing histories, what beautiful art, what forgotten stories of real people just disappeared, turned to dust, and all the castles that didn't make it?